Hello everyone, welcome to another lecture on front-end development. So before we actually move on to the parts of divisions so that we can lay out our objects of HTML, there are a few more objects that we need to discuss, one of which is a table that we are going to discuss today. So let's see how we can make simple tables in HTML. So I'll take a simple example. Let's say I want to build a table for representing my education. So let's say I have a degree here. Let's say I have BTech degree. Then I can have college. So I can say IIT and then I can have some grade points. So let's put some grade points. Similarly, let's say I want to say I did 12th from some school and I got, let's say, again, some percentage, right? So a simple table like this I want to make, and I want it to be present on my profile page. Then how will I be able to make this simple table? So for that, in HTML also there is a tag called table, which simply represents a table. Now, generally in HTML, any table is made up of certain rows, and any row in HTML is represented by a tr tag. So tr essentially represents one particular row. Okay. Now inside that particular row, there are some cells. To represent each of the cell, we use td tag. So I can say that I want a td degree, then I want a td college, then again I want a td grade. Similarly, here I can mention more TDs like BTech and so on and so forth, right? So essentially, a table consists of certain table rows, and inside those table rows, there are certain cells represented via TD. Apart from TD, if you want to highlight certain cells or showcase it like heading, then you can change this TD tag to a TH tag. TH tag simply means that it's some sort of a heading, or it will appear like bold and center aligned, right? So it will be like much more easier to carefully see without noticing. Like, so basically it will be bold, and we'll see how once we write the code for this. Okay, so that's about table, tr and th. Apart from that, if you want to sometime focus upon a particular column, like, or build the table column by column, instead of tr you can build it using col. So col represents one particular column. So we'll see all this in action in the upcoming coding session. So let's say here, I want to create that table that I just talked about. So let's say we have a table. Inside that, I want to have a row which contain a few details. Like, for example, I said degree, then I said college, then I said, let's say grade. Here I'll say that, okay, my degree is BTech from BHU, and let's say I had a grade pointer of 9.53. Similarly, here I can say probably I was in 12th standard, was from some Delhi, and there also I had some good enough, you can say, percentage, right? So I've created a small table which we can carefully see how it looks when we actually render it. So let's see how it looks on the browser. Again, I'll copy this and paste it in the browser. Okay, so since I've pasted this tables.html in my browser, it looks just like this. Like, so you can see it is arranged in 3 columns, like they start at the same point. Because we have not implemented a lot of CSS, we don't see the borders, we don't see that, okay, they should be centered, aligned, and all that stuff, because all that comes under CSS. But essentially, you can see they all start together. So in a way, it is being represented just like a table. Okay, now let's talk about the TH that I was talking about. So let me share the screen again, and let's say these are all headings, and I want them to be highlighted a little bit. So now if I refresh, you can see that they are now, first of all, centered, aligned. Next, they are a little bolder, right? So that indicates that they are a heading. If we had a table around it, like all the rows and columns, then it would have been much more apparent. But right now, since we don't have CSS, we can't put borders like stuff here. Okay, so this basically sums up the idea of tables, which we can simply create using a table tag, tr tags, and td and th tags. Let's move on to the next video where we discuss about forms, which are again a special kind of objects that we want to create in HTML.